Are some religions more equal than others? When it comes to Christian praise and worship in the city of Toronto, that would seem to be the case. Let's take a look at the story specs in Toronto's war against peaceful praise. Voices of the Nation is an ecumenical group that has used city property since 2006 for their annual Peaceful Praise and Worship concert. But now, Toronto is refusing to grant VOTN a permit for next year's music festival because, according to unelected city bureaucrats, the group is guilty of proselytizing. So, the Justice Centre for Constitutional Freedoms is threatening the city of Toronto with legal action. Joining us now is the man who says that the city's censorship is illegal and a blatant assault on our Charter of Rights and Freedoms. President of the JCCF, John Carpe. John, thanks so much for being here. This is a story that I know Rebel Nation has been following very closely. They care about it and they want to know where it's going to go. My question is, what changed from the past handful of years to now?
In terms of the performance, very little has changed. Last year, in 2015, one of the Yonge Dundas Square staff objected to a Christian song called Days of Elijah. And there's a refrain in there that says, "There's no God like Jehovah." And the staff person approached the event organizer, Paresh Ruparelia, and said, well, can you tone it down? Because those lyrics were, quote, proselytizing. And so the organizer for Voices of the Nations, he said, well, I can't really change the lyrics of a song that's being sung on stage right now. And it's a song that they had sung in previous years. And so he said, well, I can't control what's going on stage, meaning that he couldn't force to change the lyrics of a song. And then the Yonge Dundas Square said, oh, well, you're saying you can't control what's going on stage. You're proselytizing. You're not allowed in 2016.
Now, for folks at home, proselytizing refers to this act of like converting someone. When you say, there's no God like Jehovah, praise the Lord. Like there's no forced conversion that's going on there. It's just praise and worship. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You are the legal expert. We have rights in this country, freedoms, specifically freedom of religion, of conscience, of expression. Don't you think it's most fitting if we can interpret the maximum amount of freedom into that, which would include saying words like Jesus and Jehovah on our taxpayer-funded city square?
Well, the city's policy, I think, runs afoul of the Charter freedom of religion and freedom of expression. The Supreme Court of Canada has been very clear on this, that freedom of religion includes the right to teach and disseminate and manifest and proclaim your religious beliefs. So the city says no proselytizing, but that's difficult. It's subjective, because anytime that you express your opinion on something, religious or political, if you express your opinion, somebody could say, well, you're trying to convince other people that you're right, to which you could say, well, duh. Of course you're trying, when you're expressing your opinion, you're trying to say that's the right opinion.
That's what happens in a free society. Yeah. We have these sorts of discussions and we try to convince each other, and there's a marketplace of ideas, and frankly, the crappier ideas lose and the better ones win. But we're all involved in this. That's part of a free society and always has been. John, I'll tell you what I think has changed. I think that there has been a growing hostility towards specifically Christians. I'm down at Yonge Square all the time. It's sort of like our Times Square in this city. I see Muslims preaching, I see Muslim texts out there, and frankly, I think that if this had happened to a Muslim group, we would hear our Mayor John Tory condemning it much more strongly than he has this, and actually calling for its reversal. Do you think it is fair for me to say, and here I'm thinking about the audacity of law societies against Trinity Western University, the extremism of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to bar pro-lifers from his party, do you think it's fair for me to say that there is a disturbing trend of treating Christians as second-class citizens in this country?
Yes, I unfortunately have to agree with the facts seem to suggest that, and it's something that I'm not keen to jump on, because I don't want to be paranoid and I don't want to see monsters under the bed, so to speak. But the facts seem to bear that out, that I'm not so sure if there was a Muslim group that was proselytizing that they would be told to tone it down, or that they would be told that they couldn't come back next year. So there is seems to be a difference there.
Okay. where do we go from here? Let's say that the hearings don't work out in your favor. How far are you willing to go?
Well, ultimately, we'll take this to court if necessary. If Voices of the Nations wants to pursue legal action, we will be there for them. We've got 3 lawyers on staff, myself included, so we're able to provide a team to defend the charter freedoms, freedom of expression, freedom of religion. So right now, at this stage, it's the management board, which will hopefully just overturn a bad decision made by the staff, and we'll be done. If the management board refuses to overturn the decision, then we'll have to see whether there's another level of appeal within the city, and ultimately we'll have to take this to court, because the decision against contrary to the Charter freedom of religion and freedom of expression. Okay, and how do folks at home get involved if they so wish? People are welcome to find out about the case at our Justice Centre website, which is a website, and they'll get an official tax receipt as well, because we're a registered charity. All right, awesome. John, God bless your efforts. Thanks very much. And I know I speak on behalf of a lot of people. We couldn't keep on fighting for our God-given rights in this country without people like you. So keep up the good fight.